Welcome to another edition of Clifton News Live. There's Michelle Arbus, Swindler. I'll be broadcasting here every day for 90 minutes with all news Clifton. Probably the biggest news is that we had a shareholders meeting a week ago on Monday, and that's when I started my broadcast. The market needs everybody to come together and shop the market. We need to raise our sales up to 160,000 so that we can prove to our distributors and our lenders that the market is viable. And on the second part of that equation is that we have to raise the operating capital that we never gave the store when it opened. So it's been open over a year, and Keith and the staff have done a tremendous job keeping the market going. But now is the time for the community to shop the store and adapt. And if you haven't shopped in the store, shop 10%, and if you do, shop 10% more. Many of the complaints is that it doesn't have the products I want. Well, it's our job as a community to come together and adapt to what the market has to offer. Eventually, once our sales are sustainable on a weekly basis at 160,000, we'll be able to stock a wider range of items that you had to shop somewhere else for. So if you come into the grocery store, there's a wonderful produce department, meat department, fish department. There's nothing to prevent you from putting on a wonderful meal for your family without shopping anywhere else. So we're looking for a community to come together and make that happen, because the market is important. It's important for the homeowners for their property value, and it's also important for the landlords. They can rent apartments to, and their tenants will have a walkable, community-owned grocery store to go to. So let's see. I was looking at the roster at UC, and there's a men's soccer game today. I'm going to be pulling that up on the and also the Clifton Performance Theater is having a show today, and it's the last one of their production of Drowning Girls. They've moved to North Side recently. Plus, they still have the facility on Ludlow Avenue with the children's theater. So as far as the soccer at UC, it's the Bearcats men's soccer versus Eastern Illinois University. It's today at 7 p.m. at Gettler Stadium. So every day I'm going to hope that I'll have all the latest news that the UC students can have, what bands are playing, and what sports teams are going to be performing on a daily basis. Also, this Thursday at CCM, there's a student recital. It's August 30th from 6:45 to 7:45, and it's at the Emory Hall, 3250. And it's Sawei Chang on piano and a DMA lecture recital. So that's so it's happening at CCM. This I don't have a band playing at the Ludlow Garage this week, but the next performance that's scheduled is Rumors, a Fleetwood Mac tribute. Showtime is at 8:30. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the ticket price is $20 to $30. Also coming up is the Cannes Ice Cream Social at the Rawson Woods Estate, the home next to the Clifton School. So that's going to be that's Saturday, September 8th at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at the Rawson Woods Estate, right across the street. Right next door to the Clifton School. So we'll be mentioning that. Now, many people ask, what can I do for the market? Well, the first thing to do is to shop here. Encourage everybody to shop here, because by getting our sales to up to 160,000, we can be a viable grocery store. So But on the other end, there's lots of small things to do. The railings need to be painted that go down to the parking lot. Maureen, and Steve and Ben have put new flowers in, flower boxes. Elisa, who supplies the fresh flowers here, I just realized got I think I have one of our rose sunflowers. They're on sale today. They're $7.99. There's also some 10-inch hanging baskets for $16.99. So Elisa supplied the flowers at a discount, and Maureen and Steve and Ben put them in, and now we have a watering system for them, so they'll stay healthy. Also, if you never noticed, there's a parking lot sign in the southeast corner of the parking lot, and it's like an old grandfathered in sign, and we could put a great sign on that. So I'm looking to design that and get that done. And we need, if someone is going to paint the railing, they can go ahead and paint that too. We're getting the ID buttons made. Mark Iries stepped up, and he's working with a friend of his down at the public library to use their button making machine, and Tanette is supplying the employee sheets. We'll have buttons like this with the employee's name on it soon. Also, there's no reason why you can't be a greeter, or maybe better yet, to come here at the market and learn some of the processes of the cashiers have to know, and educate them about how to what answers people would have for their questions, like how do I become a shareholder, how do I make a loan, what is Clifton Market. The cashiers are really the forefront of the market, and with your help and working with Keith, you can get them all trained so that they're on a top-notch staff, very knowledgeable. One of the problems in the past was that Keith has made a special offer. If you buy $500 in gift cards, you get $25. So the trick is we can only put the gift cards. You have to use two gift cards, one for $250 and the other one for $275. And that procedure you could learn, and then make sure that all the cashiers knew how to do that, because sometimes it's confusing, and when people want to spend $500, they should immediately get their cards and have no trouble getting that together. So that's an important role that somebody can step up and do, help train employees. Because you got to remember that Clifton Market, even though it's a fantastic market, it's running on a razor's edge. Everybody is like working overtime. Keith's just gotten off a vacation, and he told me he was just going to stay home. So there you can see he needs a little R&R, and now he's back working furiously for the market, and it's important that we get our sales up to 160,000 by everybody coming together and shopping Clifton Market. We're working on some new yard signs. They're going to be just white and black. I'm looking for somebody to help me screen print them. I got a screen, and as soon as I get the desire, I think I see Kelly. Hey, Kelly. I'm live on YouTube. You want to be on YouTube live?
Sure.
Oh, great. Well, just come here and sit right here. Every day I do this broadcast, and
Hi.
we talk about everything Clifton, the news, who's playing at the garage, and
Oh, cool.
what's happening at UC. I just mentioned the soccer game today.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I'm actually going to go to the dentist in about 15 minutes. I just wanted to pick up some lunch for afterwards. But yeah.
Great.
I come here all the time for snacks and groceries and food. I live down the street.
Well, you can introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly. I am a master's student at UC, going back for social work. And I've been a case manager in the Hamilton County community for a while, just about a year and a half, and then I'm taking a break so I can go back to school. And I've lived around here for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this area.
Well, we're trying to make the grocery store a success by getting our sales up and
Awesome.
raising some operating capital. But thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice seeing you.
Yes, super.
Take care.
Thank you, Kelly, for stopping by. I realized that one of the things I was going to be doing today was putting down the timeline of the video. So when people tune in, that they can go right to the story that I'm reading. So we put down there in 10:30. I think that's right. At 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the program, Kelly stopped by, and she's a student at UC. We're trying to give all the students that we know at UC a gift card for $10 or $20, trying to get them to come here and shop the market because it's a great asset to the community. And when you shop here, you're supporting your community. You're not buying into a. There's Terry Grundy. I read a story about it the other day. Every day, if we have enough time, read some archival issues of the Clifton Chronicle. Gary had the front page news on that the other day. So I went through basically what's happening for volunteers, and what's being done is Keith has got triple sinks, and they're getting the permits so that we can have a grill outside. You know, special events like Clifton Fest coming up, so that's exciting. And as the market grows, we'll tweak what we have available, and we'll be able to, you know, if the juice bar is viable, we'll develop that further. But as ideas, we need these ideas, and then in time we want to work with the most popular ones and the ones that are most successful. So I'm going to go back to the website and talk about the specials on the Clifton Market specials today. So this is ending Wednesday, on Tuesday, August 28th. So this is tomorrow's the last day of this flyer. We have grapes at $1.49 a pound. We have USD choice top sirloin at $5.99 a pound. Bone-in center cut pork chops at $1.99 a pound. 4 avocados for $5, and we got Prego spaghetti sauce, 2 for $3. Crystal Farm shredded chunk cheese, 2 for $4. And Simply potatoes, they're like hash browns, frozen, I suppose. They're 2 for $5, and V8 Splash is $1.69 each. That's what's on sale at this week. Let's go to the GoFundMe page. Right now, our GoFundMe is at $26.50. It's gone up at least $500 from yesterday, so that's great. The fun thing about the GoFundMe page is that when you make a donation, you get some free perks. So for a $50 donation, you get a free pizza. With a $75 donation, you get a free pizza and $5 off $25 order. And for a donation of $100, you get the pizza, the $5 off, and 10% off a grocery order. So that means you could come here and shop your whole week's grocery, and you'd probably save 10%. You'd end up, instead of the donation being $100, you really was a donation of maybe $75 with your savings. And then the top donation gift is $125. You get the pizza, you get the $5 off a $25 order, and the 10% off the grocery order, and then you become a member of the coffee club. You get a free Clifton Market coffee mug, well, with your $125 donation, and coffee for a year. So that's for $125. We got here Zach Crawford, thank you very much for your donation. And Brian Frank, thank you for your donation of $50 one day ago. Ruth Ann Boonmiller, thank you for your $125 donation. And Zachary Crawford gave $125. And Mary and James Russell gave $125 2 days ago. Jim Flessa, thank you very much, $125 to Jim. And 4 days ago, Carol Joy Hawk gave $50. Thank you very much. We got some great comments here. Brian Frank said Clifton Market has the fresh produce at a great prices, keeping Clifton from becoming a food desert. So that's very true. And Britain, let's see. Well, I've read the other. We don't have any comments, but make sure you give a comment if you go to the GoFundMe page, and we can we'll read them online. It'll be perfect. So let's see what else we have on the tabs here. I've already. Try and go to the plaza, see what's playing this Friday. I don't know if they've lined it up yet, but let's see what we have happening at the plaza. Friday, this Friday, August 31st, is Mark Crow and Company. It's a woman's band. They have a bass violin, a bass, acoustic bass, and an acoustic guitar. They're also, Mark Crow and Company is also playing at Clifton Fest. So they're going to be on the plaza here this Friday at August 31st at 7 p.m. And then Saturday, September 1st, is the Marsh Brothers, a jazz collective on Clifton Plaza, and they start at 7 p.m. So that's the lineup at Clifton Plaza. Let's see what else is going on here. We'll go to, let's go see if they have a live chat. We do have the live chat on right now on the YouTube Live, so if you want to get on YouTube, you go to my site, Tom Lohre, and you can we can chat live. I'm going to keep that up, and hopefully we can get some people to chime in. Let's go to Nextdoor and see what's happening on Nextdoor, Clifton. It's always a great resource. I did some study the other day about who is on Nextdoor, and it turns out everybody in Clifton is on Nextdoor. There's a lot of apartments that are not listed, but typically the households are all there. So by using Nextdoor as to talk about your good experiences at Clifton Market, how important it is to the community to come together and work with the market to make a go of this. This is the time now for you to do something for the market and not to ask the market to do something for you. We're running at a razor thin edge. Everybody is pulling together, but we need the community to pull together as a team and support the market. So let's see what the lead is here. Welcome Sarah Davis Gagnon. She's just joined. We'll welcome her here. And well, Kate Smith said she just brought milk at Clifton Market, so thank you very much, Kate, for that. Let's see. Somebody's looking for some banana leaves for for a recipe. Somebody's mentioned some loud disturbances. Gee, just now. Well, I wonder what that was. Somebody else needs some boxes. Let's see what else. There's another GoFundMe page. Somebody looking for donations, as we have a great GoFundMe page too. Annie Hamilton has chimed in about donating to the market's GoFundMe page. It's a great way to, with a little bit of a donation, to show your support, and you can always buy a share in the market. It's $200, and when you become a shareholder, at this time, occasionally the market will have like a $10 off shareholders for a week. So we look forward to the next one of that. I'll let you know when those are active. But and really, the use of the shareholders card is that you get to be tracked. Your purchases are tracked, and we can understand more what you'd like, so we can support our shareholders. Another way to support the market is to lend them money, and the loans start at $1,000, and you can pick your interest rate. So there's like 2, 3, I think it's 1.5%, 2, and 3%. So I think you can have it a 5-year loan or 7-year loan. I have the forms for the loan and the shares. Is right in the card foyer, right by the place where you have the wipe for the card. There's a literature tray there that you can learn about how to make a loan and how to become a shareholder. That'll be stocked all the time right there. So thank you, Annie Hamilton, for donating to the Clifton Markets GoFundMe page. And here's a story about just what I mentioned. The Clifton Performance Theater is their last performance of The Drowning Girls is going to be tonight. So let's see. I'll read a little. Here, The Drowning Girls, written by Beth Graham, Charlie Tomlinson, and Daniela Alaskalik, featuring Mindy Heithos, Eileen Ernst, Carol Brammer, and it's directed by Bridget Leak. Let's see what that is at 21:49. Let me make a note in that in my schedule, so we can, so I can keep a timeline. When I post these online, I can people can go to the certain point of the broadcast and get all the information about something they might hear about. Certainly the Clifton Performance Theater is important news, and Irene and I went to the performance of The Drowning Girls in the new place over in Northside, and it's quite a fascinating play. Here, The Drowning Girls are back for 1 week. Bessie, Alice, and Margaret have 2 things in common. They are married to George Joseph Smith, and they are dead. Surfacing from the bathtubs where they were drowned in, the 3 brides gather evidence against their womanizing, murderous husband by reliving the shocking events leading up to their deaths. This unique dark comedy takes your breath away, reflecting on the misconceptions of love, married life, and the not so happily ever after. The Drowning Girls is a fantasy and a social critique full of rich images, a myriad of characters, and lyrical language. So it's at the Liberty Exhibition Hall. It's right across the North Side Bridge. You just make immediate left, and the hall is right there. It's been rebuilt, and it's quite fantastic. These halls are proliferate around Cincinnati, and the Liberty Exhibition Hall is a perfect example of a great resource of theater, places for theater. So it's at 3938 Spring Grove Avenue. That's 45223, the Liberty Exhibition Hall. The last date is today of the show, August 27th, and it begins at 8 p.m. Prices are $15 to $25. So you can call the Clifton Players at 513-813-7469. That's 513-813-7469. And you can always look it up online at cliftonperformancetheater.com. So that's tonight. We're going to have a great show, and you're going to be really totally interested in the production, because it's an unusual production, and with the bathtubs and all, and the brides. So don't miss that. Let's see what else is going on here. I'll check back on YouTube and see if we have anybody. I'll post something here. Time really goes fast when you're having fun here. We can let's go with some other things. There's at the service counter, there's a nice little book of things that party trays and that the market delivers. It's a list of numerous things, and I'm working on getting a price list made for this booklet. It's a very nice, colorful booklet, but we need to get a price list. The other day, I was working at the market and discovered that we needed to get a Clifton deli menu. So I was able to print up a single sheet with the deli menu on it and post it in the mailboxes, in the letter boxes on the Ludlow and also in the cart foyer, so you can see what's on the deli. Also, I posted on the Telford bulletin board, and it's also in the Clifton Plaza, Clifton Market news box. So probably the most exciting thing about the deli, besides great sandwiches, is that they have pizza, and you can make your own pizza. They have various other pizzas. So you have, they also have a wonderful selection of fried chicken and sushi. Many of the things listed on the sushi menu I have here aren't made every day, but if you want to call up and order a particular type of sushi, that they'll put it together given enough time. They have an unbelievable selection of side dishes. You can come here and have dinner a la carte. It's just like an old-time buffet. Especially the regular standard is mac and cheese, roasted broccoli, pesto tortellini, the wonderful side dishes, and the sandwiches. They got a buffalo blue. It's a baguette, buffalo chicken, mar bleu cheese, red onion, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. So, and don't hesitate to stop by and get a hot pizza made. They have my favorite is the Ludlow, red sauce and 3 cheese blend, mozzarella, provolone, and Parmesan cheese. So that's the Clifton Market. That's another thing that a volunteer could do, because we've got to remember that the market is running on a thin edge, and everybody's working hard. So some volunteers could step up and make a price list keep it up to date for the deli trays. So let's go back to let me make a mention about when I'm going to start reading the news from the Chronicle, so I'll make a note about that. 27:38. We're almost in the first half hour of the show. So that's that. Let's get to the Clifton Chronicle. The Clifton Chronicle is typically 12 pages printed. It just got into the mailboxes, and now the online is 31 pages. So don't hesitate to download the PDF from cliftoncommunity.org, and they will allow you to see much more than just the 12 pages. Probably the biggest news in this quarter's issue is the new post office up the street. It's right near the whole bowl. Veronica, our clerk, it was always commenting that every so often people would come in and say, I never knew there was a post office in Clifton. Well, now that it's on Ludlow, hopefully more people will know that. And she really loves the place. It has everything, and she's very excited about the new post office. And there's a big thank you for on the front page for the Clifton Town Meetings triennial house tour. They're thanking everybody who attended and the volunteers who played a crucial role, and the business owners who brought advertisements, and it was a wonderful event. They said despite unseasonably warm weather, the tour was a great success. So that's on the front page of the printed Chronicle. There's going to be a candidates night in Clifton at the rec center. I'll talk more about that when it comes closer to it. We're trying to keep the news timely. There's also recently there was a meeting at the Corryville Rec Center about Burnett Woods. The Parks Department put on a wonderful show. They brought together a group so that 3 people could present. And the CCAC had a presentation, an outdoor group that allows inner city youth to have a woods experience. They gave a presentation, and also Preserve Burnett Woods gave a presentation. So this Preserve Burnett Woods has started a new initiative to help the park. And the great thing about it is that every Sunday at 7 a.m. at the Trailside Nature Center is a walk through the park with someone knowledgeable about birds, and it's every Sunday at 7 a.m. at the Trailside Nature Center. So there's an exhibit of J. Miles Wolfe at the Skirball Museum. It's on the grounds of the Jewish Union College, the Hebrew Union College, right now. So, see what else. Some timely news. We mentioned that Sunday. So, Clifton Fest is returning to Ludlow on October 5th and 6th. That's in a year. In a month coming up. So that's about all the current news. Let's see what we got. The online Chronicle. Kim Fender is retired from the library. We have the ice cream social for the cans at Rawson Woods coming up. The Little Sisters of the Poor served up spaghetti and meatballs. They've been caring for the Cincinnati elderly for 150 years. And DePaul Cristo Rey broke new ground, part of their campus. If you drive by there, you see a big hole in the ground. We're the police. See, blessing the men and women in blue. A police blessing service at Clifton Seventh-day Adventist Church at 3800 Clifton Avenue was led by Pastor Jeba Moses and officiating elder Peter Chiguduloga. Clifton is a police-friendly church. Let all our brothers and sisters on the force know that they are welcome to fellowship with us. So there's some nice pictures. Thank you. Thank you, Seventh-day Adventist Church. The church also, in the past, has sponsored a Healthy Heart initiative, and I heard that it was a great success. Some of the Cliftonites attended. Might be doing that again. There's some wonderful pictures of Burnett Woods from Rama Kasturi, and Cincinnati Playhouse is bringing Stephen King's Thriller to the March Theater September 1st. It's the best-selling Misery comes to life with dark humor and edge-on-your-seat suspense. So you might remember when it was a movie. So it's coming to Playhouse in the Park September 1st. See, there's some nice images from the Memorial Day 2018, and there's a $500K NEH grant will support Cincinnati Art Museum's revisioning of the art and architecture of the Near East. So that's going to be a revamping there. Let's see. Oh, we're going to have Clifton Holidays on Ludlow coming up soon. So, and before that will be Clifton Fest. Now, on the last page of the online Chronicle, there's a wonderful aerial picture of Clifton, and surrounding the picture are all the phone numbers of the shops in Clifton. I never bothered to count them because I just packed them all in, and I realized I'll have to make some adjustments because there's a new smoke shop across the street, back where the old bead store was. So they sell cigars there. So there's Rachel, our sushi girl. I'll have to. So we have a vape shop in the old thrift store. That used to be run by Mustard Seed, and now we've got another smoke shop across the street. That brings up a good point about things that could happen at the Clifton Market. We're trying to discover all options possible to make the store go, and that means that maybe we could bring in various other people. We have a lot of space, so whether it be like a coffee concern, or we could even have a high-end tobacco section. We could sell lottery tickets. So these are all ideas. We've got to brainstorm exactly what's going on, what's going to make the store a success. So I guess I'm going to move on to reading the archives of the Chronicle. Let's see what we got here. 3613. We're in 3613. It's always interesting to see the old issues of the Chronicle. If you haven't heard already, the editor E.P. Harris passed away this spring. He was an incredible gentleman, and he asked me to work with the Chronicle, and I was eventually the production, ran it for 4 years and orchestrated getting Vicki Black now does the Clifton Chronicle, and we worked up a system that's viable and it makes it sustainable, so we can have the Chronicle around for a long time. I think one of the biggest issues I had was 26 pages, which was over budget. But now with the printed edition, it's 12 pages, and the online is an easy PDF download. You can read it at your leisure on your smartphone. So here we have we're talking about the Clifton Chronicle, fall of 2004. So we have Streetscapes, a street painting festival by Cindy Herrick. You might remember that Clifton Fest originally sort of was at the same time of Streetscapes. Now, Streetscapes was it was more of an art center project where students would be trained in drawing chalk on the street, and they would be assigned a famous masterpiece. So by the end of the event, we'd have some 5 or 6 masterpieces done in chalk on the streets. So very much in keeping with the tradition of chalk artists. Of course, now they've morphed into these illusionists. So last Clifton Fest we had illusionist chalk artists, and they may be bringing that back as Clifton Fest gets ramped up as far as what their lineup is going to be. So here's the story from Cindy Herrick. Streetscapes, a street painting festival. Autumn in Clifton ushers in a number of Clifton traditions: the lantern walk, carriage rides, and streetscapes. On September 25th and 26th, Streetscapes will return for the 3rd consecutive year to bring color and festivity to Telford and Ludlow Avenues. Street painting originated in Italy in the 16th century. In recent years, such festivals have grown in popularity in the U.S. For 2 days, Madonnari, that's Italian for street painters, from throughout Cincinnati will create colorful, oversized reproductions of museum pieces such as the work of Picasso, Michelangelo, O'Keeffe, and others. The canvas for these works of art is the freshly black-topped surface of Telford Avenue, and specially formulated handmade pastels are the medium. In preparation for the festival, the Madonnari attend a workshop at the Clifton Rec Center where they learn to make pastel chalks they will use and study the techniques of street painting. The public is encouraged to interact with the artists as they work on bended knees. For this reason, the street artists come prepared to answer questions about the original painting and the master artist who created it. The whole idea is to come up and watch it happen and then watch it slowly fade away over the next few months, says Kip Egan, a member of the organizing committee. The area for children to participate in making a chalk mosaic will be located on Telford at various times during the festival. Kids will be entertained with face painting, clouds, and balloons while musicians stroll the street. Streetscapes is part of the third annual 2020 Days and 20 Nights 20 Days and 20 Nights Festival presented by Enjoy the Arts Start. The 2020 festival offers 20 days and 20 nights of nonstop eclectic arts and events designed to showcase the very best Cincinnati has to offer. Presenting sponsors of the 2004 Streetscapes, a street painting festival, include Clifton Town Meeting, Columbia Savings and Loan, Clifton Business and Professional Association, Clifton Rec Center, and City Beat. Individuals and Clifton Gaslight merchants sponsored the individual paintings. So that's the front page of the fall 2004 issue of the Clifton Chronicle. And then another story is about Light Up November. Connie Matzkoff started the Lantern Walk, and it's a great tradition now. There's a revitalizing Ludlow project story. The Weavers Guild of Cincinnati is having a fiber arts. Here's the election slate for CTM Board of Trustees. There's a story about Diggs Plaza. Got the blotter from Cincinnati police officer Dana Jones. Clean Up Your Act, Clifton. People canvass Clifton community to fix problems with potholes, graffiti. Phil Nuxall has a story about Spring Grove. And here's a story from our famous artist of Clifton, James Patrick White. You might know that James Patrick White did the murals in Arlen's. And a long time ago, he was doing like a paint by number of 4x8 sheets and then they were lining the fence above the merchant parking lot, trying to find out where those murals are. So here is article, Clifton Fitness, James Patrick White. Like a runner disappearing into the sunset, the sweltering days of summer are fading away. Soon we'll hear the footsteps of autumn approaching, bringing with them cool, brisk weather that is perfect for, you guessed it, jogging. Jogging is a great exercise. Jogging in autumn in Clifton is a lot more enjoyable than jogging on a treadmill. Seeing our neighborhood at the leisurely pace of 6 miles an hour can be a fun and relaxing experience. Interesting old homes, the landscaped front yards, and the variety of people you see can distract your attention from any ache you might feel. If you've only flirted with jogging in the past, and if you're a total virgin to the exercise, here are some tips that might help you. Get a physical. Make sure your doctor says it's okay for you to jog. Having a heart attack is your first time out, could ruin your whole day. Stretch 5 to 10 minutes before and after a jog. To stretch your hamstrings, back thighs, touch your toes. To stretch your calves, lean forward and push against the wall. Stretching will make your jog easier. Your legs won't feel like they're made of stone. A good rule of thumb is to jog 30 minutes 3 to 4 times a week. I jog on days starting with the letters S and T. If jogging for 30 minutes is too much for you, then try walking briskly instead. You might want to try a combination of walking briskly and jogging slowly, totaling 30 minutes. Buy a good pair of running shoes. If you're serious about jogging, and for at least several months, then buy some shoes at a store that specializes in running accessories. A good pair will run between $80 and $120, which that's a $2004. Your joints, tendons, and ligaments will thank you later. Jogging on the sidewalks can be tough on your knees, so don't jog on your knees. Jog on your feet, little joke. If you feel pain, stop jogging until the pain is gone. Aspirin and ice might help. Another thing that might help is tip number 6. Tip number 6 is jog on grass. 6 times around the Mount Storm soccer field is a little over a mile. Now, on non-jogging days, do a little upper body work like push-ups, sit-ups, dumbbells, and leg lifts. Do as many as you're comfortable with. Don't do 200 sit-ups the first day. You'll walk like the Hunchback of Notre Dame the day after. You might want to include a drink of water from a drinking fountain at the middle or at the end of your jog. There are some outdoor drinking fountains at Mount Storm and Clifton School and the Diggs Plaza. For more information, check out a good jogging book from the library. An excellent book is Jogging for Complete Idiots. Sounds like something James Patrick White would write. You might wonder how to stay in shape as the autumn weather ends and the winter weather begins. I say jog. I like jogging in the winter more than jogging in the summer. As long as the sidewalks aren't icy, I think it's fun. I feel like I'm conquering the winter. So there you go. Great, funny story from James Patrick White and the fall issue of 2004 Clifton Chronicle. And we have a spotlight on a Cliftonite. It's about the Kiley family. We've got Mindy Stoker with wine tastings. I read one of her stories the other day. Helping Hands from Sandy Cohen about Bob Seuss. Avenue News by Barbara Druffel. It's a story about Columbia Savings Bank. Scarlet Oaks is celebrating 95 years. Eric Davis has his library corner. And then the chalkboard is about Annunciation School and German language school news. So that's You Gotta Have It. Also by James Patrick White about Clifton artist Yvonne Van Eygen from Holland. Well, I just got to know her recently. There's Clifton Kids from Kelly Cunningham. Clifton Lantern Walk is November 6th. Small Time Gardener from Brenda False. Clifton in the Natural World. Well, E.P. Harris really had a bunch of great people writing stories. There's Rec Center New by Dale Doberman. Cook's Corner by Marilyn Harris. Well, let's read that in honor of E.P. Harris, passing away. This is from the fall issue of the Clifton Chronicle in 2004. It's a Cook's Corner by Marilyn Harris. Local gardeners report a bumper tomato crop this year. If you still have some fresh beauties on hand, this easy, flavorful sauce is a good way to use them up. I prefer Roma or plum varieties for making sauce, but any good vine-ripened tomato will yield a much tastier sauce than you can ever purchase commercially. Be sure to peel and seed the tomatoes. That's easy enough to do. Pierce them with a large cooking fork and plunge them into a pot of boiling water for 30 to 45 seconds, then into a colander to drain. The skin will peel back where the fork pierced the tomato, and the skin is easily removed. Cut in half crosswise and squeeze out the pulp and the seeds. Do this over a strainer and catch the juice in a bowl to add to your sauce. The fresh herbs, which many of you also have in your gardens, add great flavor to this recipe. Another flavor secret is the short cooking time. I find that many folks tend to cook their tomato sauce much too long. Toss this sauce on some pasta and add a handful of shredded Parmigiano Reggiano or spoon it over poached chicken breast or salmon. What you can't use up in a week or so may be frozen. Thaw it overnight in the refrigerator to add fresh flavor to pasta dishes, soups, and salad dressings in the wintertime. The fresh tomato recipe. 12 Roma tomatoes or 6 large tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 cup of chopped onion, 2 large cloves of garlic minced, 1/3 cup finely chopped celery, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, freshly ground pepper to taste, 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme leaves, 1/4 cup of dry white wine, 2 tablespoons chopped flat leaf parsley, 2 tablespoons of fresh shredded basil, peel and seed the tomatoes, reserve tomato sauce, juice for add to the sauce. Heat oil in heavy skillet. Saute the onion until translucent. Stir in the garlic and celery. Cook, stirring for 2 to 3 minutes. Stir in the tomato paste, salt, sugar, thyme, and wine, along with the reserved tomato juice. Cook, stirring occasionally, uncovered and over medium heat for 20 minutes. Stir in the parsley and basil and cook 2 to 3 minutes longer. Taste and correct seasonings. Cool, cover, and chill if not used right away. Makes 3.5 cups. So that's a great tomato paste recipe from Marilyn Harris, E.P. Harris's wife. And I'm sure you know her as our culinary expert in Cincinnati. Poetry Corner, neighborhood in the news. Here we have a Burnett Woods restoration event are scheduled. Bring gloves and some water for yourself. The park board usually has some tools. I think that's Steve. Steve is organizing honeysuckle eradication. That reminds me, I'll have to bring a cartoon of James Patrick White wrote about the honeysuckle annihilation process in Burnett Woods. So that's the fall issue of the Clifton Chronicle. I wish someday maybe I can scan these and post them on a PDF. You can always go to cliftoncommunity.org and go to the menu, click on Chronicle, and you'll see all the issues that have been turned into a PDF. And it's a great resource of news and events and history in Clifton. I occasionally take the old issues from the library and organize them into stacks and give them to realtors to give to new homeowners. So I'll be doing that soon. So let's get to reading the flyers. I'll make a note in my timeline. I've gone to reading the flyers in Clifton. I'm trying to collect all the menus of the restaurants. So at 52:19, we're almost finished with our first hour of our broadcast. And we'll read the flyers. So in the future, if you want to just get right to the flyers, we'll do that. You can go right to it. Ace Flyer this week, they're having a sale on mason jars, large and small. There's a small 2.5-gallon wet vac for $19.99. I got one of those for my wife. Also, there's a buy 2 get 1 free furnace filters. It's a great deal. I was up there talking to Brian today to see if they had a 24-inch by 4-inch filters for my furnace, but sorry, they didn't. Now I'm beginning to wonder, maybe I should buy, like 4 of them. Let's see how that works. I've got spray foam for $2.99, 2 for $6 spray paint. Got some insect killer. Got a free toolbox for the tool person in your family. $149 for Craftsman toolbox. We got a $29.99 Igloo Quantum Max Cooler. There's a $24.99 battery-powered Black & Decker drill. Assorted tools for $3.99 each. And Duracell is $10.99. We got some Swiffer E-cloth selection, $2, $3, or $5. Here, save $2 instantly on select mold armor cleaners. I wonder what that means. Get some mold eradication. I've got storage bins on sale, light bulbs, Windex, all from your Ace hardware. And I recently picked up a menu of China Kitchens right next to Clifton Market. And we've got a wonderful menu for takeout. chef's special is sesame chicken, $10.25. Of course, we have spring appetizer spring roll, 4 of them for $2.99, $2.95. They have partying and catering. You can get 20 egg rolls for $25.95. Of course, they have General Towels chicken for $10.25. Chunks of boneless chicken, quickly stir-fried with house special sauce. And, they got tofu. They got Hunan tofu, mapo tofu, shrimp and tofu, pea pod tofu, roast pork and tofu, seafood tofu in casserole. Fried rice, we got chicken fried rice for $3.95. Noodles, shredded pork, and pickled noodle soup for $7.95. Vegetables. We got eggplant on garlic sauce for $7.75. The lunch special is $5.75. Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3:30, served with white rice or fried rice and soup or egg roll, choice of soup. Wonderful lunch special at $5.75. Let's go to CVS pharmacy flyer. There's lots of sales on makeup and shampoo. We got 50% off lawn chairs and charcoal and a cooler. There's everything back to school, so you can stop by and shop for your children. We got more makeup on sale. L'Oreal, hair color, toothbrushes on sale. Olay, buy one, get 50% off. Shampoo, Head and Shoulders, Dove Care for Men. Vitamins on sale. Cold medicine, Claritin Clears, Pampers, that's it. Johnson & Johnson's has a buy one, get 50% off. Looks like many items are buy one, get 50% off the second, and that's the flyer from CVS. Now here's the Bear Cash coupon book. New one's just come out, and there's on the page 2 is the flyer, the coupon for Clifton Market. It's a student college discount, 10% off your grocery purchase. Excludes alcohol, valid with coupon and any student or college ID. No cash value. So 10% off your grocery purchase coupon in the Bear Cash coupons. Thank you, Tom, for putting that together. And so we have online shopping and delivery for $10. The senior centers are really taking advantage of our online shopping. In that, and many times the vans from the senior centers come up to Clifton, and the senior citizens can shop. But some of them have gone to CliftonMarket.com, and there's a wonderful section where you can order your groceries from online and have them delivered for $10. So many people do their whole weekly shopping. The basket size is rather large for the online shopping, so that's an excellent resource for income for the market. But delivery is $10. I think it's within 10 miles. Don't quote me on that, but it's all going to be on the CliftonMarket.com website. Recently, we've gotten the website together, and Barbara Howell has done a great job with the website. She recently updated the deli menu, the rest of the Bear Cash coupons. We got Penn Station, Bagel Brothers, Baba India. You might want to know about Dishmesh. Dishmesh was sold to another entity, and they'll be, I believe, opening soon. I spoke to the lady who did run it, and she was at the Clifton Market Board meeting, and I believe she might be a board member. I'm going to have to validate that, but anyway, that's the story on Dishmesh. Bagel Brothers got a coupon. Elephant Walk Bar and Grill. Chai Time. It's a new chai, everything chai on West McMillan. Papa John's, Maya India Restaurant, which reminds me, Maya, our jewelry store right next to China Kitchen, is having a 40% off sale right now. So that's in their window. I'm going to be trying to collect the what's on sale on Clifton and get all the information, and I'll have a stack of menus and flyers, so we'll read it during that part of our broadcast. So we've got great clips, Raimundo's, computer services from Pro City, Mellinzer Insurance Agency, T&D Tree Service, Mr. Transmissions, we've got authorized heating and air conditioning, tea and bowl, UC. Hey, Paul.
Hey.
So we're live on the YouTube. I'm broadcasting live now.
Oh.
Clifton Market for 90 minutes every day. I'm reading the flyers right now.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, here's an entry.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Here's an ad from Dishmesh. So they are open. It's the one right across from Cincinnati State. Their number is 221-8900. Lunch, buffet, outside dining, carry out available, and they have a lot of nice coupons. And there's an ad for Mr. Transmission. Adriatico's has got an ad. 2 pages. Dewey's Pizza, Chicago Gyros, Delicio Pizza, Anbar India, got a coupon, Denny's Electric, UC Apartments for rent, Harriman Services, City Limits Laundry and Tanning, I believe that's right up Jefferson, Luann's Hair Boutique, Thai Express, Einstein Brothers, Esquire Theater has one free admission. Cooper Electric, Corinthian has a nice spread, 2 pages. Corinthian Pan Pizza, the UC Tradition, Unique Campus Rentals, Fast West Side Heating and Air Conditioning, Bridgetown Dentistry, and walk-in Chinese food, the Midwestern Plumbing Service, and the last page is Wing Eye Care. So that's all the flyers from Bear Cash coupons. I guess as long as we're reading the flyers, we might as well just read the ads that are in the Clifton Chronicle, so we can make sure all the merchants are getting covered. We got a nice ad from United Fidelity. They were a whole sponsor at the Clifton Town meeting. A golf outing that was Saturday. There's an ad from Emmanuel Child Care, Development Care. If you didn't know that Emmanuel Presbyterian Church, they've opened their theater doors for Clifton Market meetings, but they also have a wonderful child care. You can get it, and you can see the ad in the printed edition of the Chronicle. KBC is celebrating 31 years, full service design, build, remodeling, and home modifications. Clifton United Methodist Church has a nice ad. Tom will buy your old records, so you can check that out. And PD's Pet Shop is right across from the Clifton Market parking lot. They supply everything for your pet food needs. Emily Steen has a realtor ad in it. Ruth's Parkside Cafe has a nice ad. River Music Learn to Play Guitar is an ad if you want to take guitar lessons right here in Clifton. We have a nice ad from Hebrew Union College about the photography exhibit of J. Miles Wolfe. It's a history of the Jewish tradition in Cincinnati. There's an ad from Druffel and Tomasi of Comey and Shepherd. You know Barb Druffel and Robert D. Tomasi are working with Comey and Shepherd. We have a nice ad from Calvary Episcopal Church. They have a new pastor there, and they also have a new pastor at Emmanuel. So that's good news to hear. I'm supposed to do something with this ad. Should make a note about it. Gaslight Properties has a nice ad. Gaslight Properties is recently working on the new grill and Gaslight Grill and Bar. That's the old library across from the garage. Dave and Claudia have taken over the Ludlow Garage Entertainment, so they're going to have dueling restaurants right there at the garage. So we're looking forward to that. Aura Farouse has a nice ad from Sipsy Klein, and her tag is Aura Listens. Let's see, we have a nice ad from Personnel Service, Eastern Personnel Service, from banquet servers, warehouse workers, payroll clerks, general maintenance, a whole list of teachers, all from Eastern. You can see their ad in the printed edition of Clifton Chronicle. Have a nice ad from Emmanuel Presbyterian Church. I wonder if they mentioned the new pastor. No, I'll get that news later. And there's a nice ad from the Howell Pet Hospital, Howell Avenue Pet Hospital. They've been a great supporter of Clifton, running an ad in the Chronicle religiously. And then there's an ad from House Cleaning and Pet Sitting from Kim Billings. The number is 673-0939. House Cleaning and Pet Sitting from Kim Billings, 673-0939. And we have a nice ad from the Clifton Dental Care. They're right on Whitfield. Comprehensive dental care, and it's close to home. Their number is 751-5200. 751-5200. And our last ad in the fall edition of the Clifton Chronicle is from Tri-Health Cancer Institute. It says Good Samaritan Hospital, the first hospital in the country to be certified and the only to be recertified in acute leukemia care. We want to thank Tri-Health for sponsoring Clifton town meeting golf outing that was Saturday, and soon I took pictures of all the whole sponsors, and I'll get those and we'll mention them on our next broadcast as soon as I get to that. I took a lot of nice video, and we're going to get that posted. So that's the end of the flyer reading section of our 90 minutes here live in Clifton Market. I can't help but take the latest issue of City Beat and go to the listings and see what's going on tonight. So Thursday the 23rd, 24th, Monday the 27th. See if there's anything going on music-wise in Clifton. We got the Greenwich, Cafe Viviance, Memorial Hall, Motor Pub, Northside Tavern, Northside Jazz and Fun. Well, you want to be interviewed, you can come over here and sit down and we'll talk about it. You can introduce yourself. Here. Yeah, just come here. Sit down. You got your card carrying Clifton. Right, here, sit down. We'll have a little chat. Okay. My name's Tom Lohre, and I'm broadcasting live right here from Clifton Market every day. Here, stick. You can bring up the microphone here, and you can introduce yourself, and I'll make a note of the timeline. So you shop here every day?
Just about.
And what's your name?
Charlie Evans.
Oh, Charlie Evans. Hey. Well, we're into our last half hour here at Clifton Market Live. We're broadcasting on YouTube, so you can always see the issue.
Okay.
I usually read the flyers and the
All right,
Clifton
go ahead.
Chronicle and tell about everything Clifton Market. So do you have any questions?
Yeah, I heard that they're gonna change the hours.
Well, it's an option since the market is really running on razor thin edge, by changing the hours, they could save a little money. So I think first thought was maybe they would open a little bit later on Sunday.
Okay.
You know, right now the hours are 7 to 10 on Monday to Thursday. I'm sorry, from Sunday to Thursday is 7 to 10, and then Friday and Saturday it's 7 to 11. So do you come at 7 o'clock in the morning to the store?
Not really. I
See?
come around 9, 10 o'clock.
So it probably wouldn't affect you.
Right.
So
That's why I was thinking a good thing is if they wanted to change to 10 o'clock in the morning instead of 7 o'clock in the morning,
well,
it might work out.
yeah, that's a good idea. We were batting around a lot of ideas at the shareholders meeting on Monday, and we could bring in other vendors, like a coffee vendor here. We have lots of space, so we might be able to. And also, we have a lot of space in the basement.
Right.
Maybe-
I know this building quite well.
Well, how did you know? How do you know?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Because I've been going here since Keller's.
Oh, I see. Well, there is a lot of space downstairs, so.
Then me and a partner of mine, a friend, we have a space downstairs, so I know about the scale downstairs.
Well, I'm glad we had this chat because I forgot to mention that usually that's a good idea to get people thinking about the extra room downstairs. There's a loading dock. You could do anything, there. And we had a band play in the loading dock. Did you hear about that?
I know.
No, it was the Tiger Lilies. And I think as long as I have somebody there telling people who come into the parking lot that they can't go around, I think we can have more in the future.
Right.
But, so what's your favorite thing to buy here in the Clifton Market?
Just about everything that they carry most everything I want, but sometimes I gotta go to the editor store because they don't have it here. And I try to keep getting them to have it here, but they won't.
Oh, well, what is that? Like, for instance?
I need to get
Huh?
my card.
Oh, you don't have to.
Raisin bread.
Okay, raisin bread. Well, the
They
market,
had the one loaf,
right?
and then they stopped that for some reason. Now,
Well, at this very difficult time in the market, we're really trying to raise our sales to 160,000 a week so that we can become a viable store. And in order to do that, we need. I'm really suggesting everybody adapt to what the market has. And if you shop here, shop 10% more. And if you don't shop,
I'm one of the 400 people that spends more than $100 a month.
well, that's great. That's great. And being a card holder,
What was it? 400 people spent more than $100 a month here.
I don't have those statistics. I know we have about 1,200 shareholders that are local, and about 500 of them shop the store.
Right.
So we're trying to reach out to the and try to allow people to understand the urgency. Now, sometimes we don't have the products that you want, but by supporting the store in this crucial period and getting our sales up to 160,000, we have a chance of surviving.
Right.
But it's going to take everybody who lives within, has a house here, wants the property value increased with having the store, or landlords, all the tenants. I'm sure the landlord is using the store as a great way to rent apartments.
Right.
So
I'm a homeowner.
let's see. So I was recently on Nextdoor, seeing how many people in Clifton are on Nextdoor. Are you on Nextdoor? It's an online, like a group chat. Are you familiar with it?
No.
No? Well, this is why we started the broadcast every day live, because it's a way to get out the message. At the last meeting we had, one of the things was to reach out and talk to everybody and try to get a sense of why they weren't shopping and encourage them to shop.
Okay. Well,
All right, great. Well, thanks for stopping again, and I forgot your name?
Charlie Evans.
Charlie Evans. Thanks so much, Charlie, for stopping by and having the Clifton story. Oh, they got some. Well, that's good. It reminds me of it.
Okay.
Thank you. Charlie Evans, thank you for that wonderful interview. See what else is going here. Go back to check in on YouTube. You can see if anybody has wanted to add a comment. No, it's fine, it's fine.
I just did one.
Oh, you want to plug in?
Yeah, just
Well,
one.
you can take either one of them out, that's fine. Well, nobody's posting any comments. We'll check on Clifton next door and see what's the latest on Clifton next door. Welcome, citizen. C-check J. I'll welcome you. I'm having a hard time pronouncing this. Let's get the microphone back here. I'm having a hard time pronouncing your name, but welcome to Clifton next door. Nothing else is new on Clifton next door, so let's go back to what other things we have. I mentioned the Clifton Performance Theater. Yesterday we talked about Biagio's. Let's go to cliftoncommunity.org and see if we can learn some more news. We'll go to the menu. I'd like to mention they're having a street naming contest. The parks. Let's see if I can pull that up. Oh, here it is. The street naming contest. The street that goes between the new Martin Luther King overpass of Central Parkway, the little loop line street from. Let's make a note about that. 118. I'm going to read that story. Excuse me while I keep abreast of my timeline so that people can go right to the story, and I'll give them. Got to make. If I do it online, well, I'm working, then things. It makes it easier for me at home. Okay, so the street naming contest. The City of Cincinnati Department of Transportation and Engineering, DOTE, has offered to have Clifton suggest a name for the connector road between Central Parkway and Hopple Street. See below photo, and it's right there. It circles White Castles. I was there today getting a couple of sandwiches. See photo. The road is indicated. Well, that's the one. CTM trustees are holding a name contest to provide a suggested name to the city. Each entry must list the suggested street name and why it is a good name, including any significance. Entry form is below the picture. So if you go to cliftoncommunity.org, go to news, right under the golf outing is the email, the form mail, where you can put in your name, your email, and the subject, say street naming, and in your message mention. You must mention the street name and why it is a good name, including any significance. So I think this is a great idea, and who knows whatever made a new street. when is a new street going to come up? Probably another thing people ask is what's going on over on Middleton as far as all that big heavy construction, and they're replacing the sewer lines. They're separating the sewer lines from rain runoff, and it's a massive project. And eventually, they hope that they can isolate the sewage from rain runoff throughout the city. And they were talking about putting a tunnel under the Mill Creek to hold the sewage and take it down to the treatment plant. So soon, I think maybe in the not too distant future, we're going to have canoeing on the Mill Creek right to the river. It'll be a huge plus. Right now, the sewage is mixed with the rain runoff, and it just pollutes the. So that's the news from CliftonCommunity.org. The golf outing was yesterday, and the Rich team won. And we don't have who won the Lady Bearcat contest, but see if I get more information about the golf outing results. District 5 Police Headquarters site selection is coming up. So the most recent public meeting held by the City Planning and Public Services Departments regarding the site selection for the new District 5 Police Headquarters was on Thursday, May 24th. The meeting reviewed the process by which 37 possible sites were narrowed to 9 possible sites. Of the 9 possible sites, 4 sites were noted to have met the highest number of the selection criteria. These 4 sites were as follows: Central Parkway, Dane and Knowlton, Hamilton Avenue, and Cons Rheingeist. The next steps in the site selection process are as follows. The Chief of Police and City Administration take public input into the consideration and make site recommendation to the City Manager and Council, and begin property acquisition in the summer of 2018. The following site selection, the city will also form a community advisory group to provide input to the design of the building, including art and a public space, to uniquely represent all 8 neighborhoods in Police District 5 area. The advisory group will have approximately 1 meeting a month. CTM trustees are hopeful that some Clifton residents will join in this advisory group. You can go to cliftoncommunity.org and see the full presentation in the story. And my last story, we got it's 123. I'm going to make a note about that. And is the deer project, Clifton Deer Project, is entering the 4th year. With the sterilization of 8 more does last fall, 8 more deer last fall, year 3 of field operations brought the total number of treated deer to 59, or 91% of our total adult female deer population. Based on field camera counts, the herd within our study has shrunk by 19%. So I'm going to skip to the end of the article. What they're really looking for is people who can become, they're looking for veterinarians who can do the procedure to volunteer, and also darters to come and volunteer. That'll lower the cost of the deer project. This deer project is gained national attention because of its success. So you can go to their website, cliftondeer.org. Then later in news, they list on cliftoncommunity.org the houses that were on the house tour. The library was on one of the houses. The mid-century modern Alsher Hancock House. It's in the new development in Rawson Woods. You see they have like a butterfly roof. That house was on the tour. The Lewis W. Kaiser House was on the tour. It's a house that evoked the spirit of Frank Lloyd Wright. The John G. Japp House. It was built in 1905. It's a splendid example of the American four-square architectural form. Another house was the Herbert A. Faulber House. It was built in 1923. It was built for one of the founders of Cincinnati's own Formica Company. The Keenan Lloyd House. It's the house directly on Clifton Avenue. If you went straight on Clifton Avenue instead of going down the hill, you'd run right into it. That was one of the houses. Oh, here's a report on the Howell Avenue Development Visioning Report. In the spring of 2017, the Clifton neighborhood approached the Cincinnati Department of City Planning to assist with facilitating a visioning meeting for a proposed development on Howell Avenue between Ormond and Clifton Avenues. City planning staff met with Clifton Town Meeting representative and Gaslight Property Development team on a few occasions over the summer and fall 2017 to discuss the potential project and the visioning meeting. Well, that's a wonderful story, and I highly suggest that you go right to there and get to that, because the project is moving along, and I believe it's in the phase of developing plans of what it's going to look like. It's going to be built on top of the Merchant parking lot, and it's still going to have 150 spaces for the community to use, as it does now. And Dave is interested in making sure that hopefully we can get some street level parking from the development to make the parking lot in Clifton a little more friendly for people with disabilities. I don't know exactly how he's going to work, but he's hoping that he can at least have a few spots street level so that people can come and go and use the Clifton Market without having the steep hill. But sometimes that keeps people from patronizing the store. I know that many senior citizens have trouble on that hill. So I guess I'm talking myself out of parking on the upper level here during my broadcast, and go to park in the parking lot. Leave an extra space for people that need it. So just to have a little recount on what is going on. Let's see. I'll go back to my cheat sheet. We have soccer today at men's soccer. Versus Eastern Illinois. It's 7 p.m. at Gettler Stadium tonight. And what's playing at the Esquire Theater? We've got the Black Klansmen, 8th grade, 3 Identical Strangers, Sorry to Bother You, and Scotty and the Secret History of Hollywood, playing at the Esquire Theater. Also, Thursday is CTM student recital at 6:45. There'll be a piano and a DMA lecture recital. And the last performance of Clifton Performance Theater. Let's see if I can pull that right up here. Clifton Performance Theater has a little space right across from CBS. They have children's programming. And now they've opened up a new space it's over in Northside. If you cross the bridge, make an immediate left, the Liberty Hall is there, and they've that they're staging plays there. Let me see if I can pull up the time. Today is the last day of the performance of the Drowning Girls. It's a fabulous play with 3 women dressed up in wedding dress, 3 bathtubs, and I'll leave it there. You're going to have a lot of fun, and that's tonight. And so I see now it's 1:30. We finished with our 90 minutes, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll be here again tomorrow. Everything Clifton News from Clifton Market Live. Thank you.